Immediately following the 2011 presidential election, the supporters of the opposition candidate of the Congress for Progressive Change (CPC), General Muhammadu Buhari, took to the streets in protest of Jonathan's victory. Violence erupted in the North and in the Middle Belt states, directed towards local grievances and political targets, resulting in loss of lives, property damage, and restriction of movement. The election sparked riots in northern Nigeria and in the following months. Up to 1,000 people are said to have died as a result of post-election violence. But here is where it all started from. Watch and listen to General Muhammadu Buhari as he incites the crowd during a campaign in Minna before the 2011 elections held.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily.
Anybody who stops you, kill them. Anybody who stops you, kill them. The wreck and damage was massive and the pains were unbearable. As you will see from the recording, the outcries and lamentations of the victims, especially Christians who were persecuted and shattered as a result of violence that was unleashed on them by Buhari supporters for being perceived to have voted Goodluck Jonathan into power. Listen to these chilling remarks. First, the Muslims were alleged to have carried out the attack on the Christians, Southerners, and Northern minority populace.
They are representing the Muslim faith, but that is not what we want. We worship God. Christianity is for peace, and God says vengeance is mine, and that is why we are not ready to take vengeance. We leave vengeance for God to take for us. We are not going to fight, and we advise our men not to fight.
But even Muslims who were thought to be sympathizers were not spared, as they also suffered heavy casualties due to the violence of Buhari's angry supporters. Several churches were burnt as Christians were the primary target. It appeared no end was in sight, as several other reports suggested that Christians indeed were the primary targets of the attacks, as several international groups joined to alert the world to the wickedness perpetrated by the elections rioters. Particularly disturbing was the account of a youth couple who was among the 10 others killed in the act of violence. The COP member Alex Okoyen, whose last Facebook post was a day before he was killed by the violent Buhari supporters, read as follows: "Now wow, these CPC supporters would have killed me yesterday. See Tretu. Even after forcing underage voters on me, they wanted me to give them the remaining ballot papers to thumbprint. Thank God for the police, and I am happy I could stand for God and my nation." To all core members who stood despite these threats, especially in the North, bravo, Nigeria, our change has come. Yet, General Buhari has not made a statement to condemn or reach out to the families of these slain heroes of our democracy. General Buhari is such a bad loser. Several human rights groups and organizations have petitioned the International Criminal Court of Justice to bring General Buhari to book, as several reports have indicted the APC presidential candidate for his role in the violence that killed, maimed, and displaced thousands of people.
The Nigerian human rights groups asked the International Criminal Court to bring charges against Nigerian presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari.
To avoid a similar situation in 2015, a conference of peaceful election was organized. Under the instructions of President Goodluck Jonathan, the Office of the National Security Advisor convened the Abuja Peace Accord, where easygoing President Jonathan and General Buhari were compelled to sign the peace declaration. Just after signing the peace accord, General Buhari's supporters are on rampage again, this time before the elections, as several reports of violent acts and indiscriminate attacks on the PDP and President Jonathan's campaign in particular. Numerous accounts have emerged from the stoning of the president's convoy in 4 northern states of Katsina, Bauchi, Adamawa and Taraba to a recent bomb blast in Gombe, 200 meters away from the venue of President Jonathan campaign rally by suspected opposition elements allegedly sympathetic to General Buhari's party. In Plateau, President Jonathan's campaign assets were burnt and vandalized by youths chanting, "Baba Buhari, say Buhari Oyoyo." We cannot forget the ugly episodes of the 2011 post-election violence, but even as we put it behind us, we need to draw the attention of Nigerians to the fact that General Buhari supporters are still threatening to kill, maim and destroy should they lose the elections. This desperation is condemnable, and Nigerians will not be blackmailed or threatened to vote for General Buhari, who still has the blood of the slain mother and innocent child, the young couples and the Christian martyrs on his hands. This is an appeal to General Buhari, who is still threatening that the dogs and the baboons would all be sucked in blood when he loses. This message is brought to you by the Initiative for Peaceful Elections. Vote wisely.